Not bad, not bad.
What's he saying?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know what is wrong with him. It seems the whole world has skipped his birthday and he's feeling
He says it's an
a bit
extension,
sensitive
so
about it. He said, "What is an extension of who?"
today's an extension of his birthday.
It's not even in the month that he was born. He wasn't even born in this month. What is he talking about?
Oh man.
He did not have a birthday.
New month.
Just accept it. New month, too.
Wow.
New month. Hey, and it is that month, Ghana month,
Ghana month.
when we are supposed to be celebrating what it means to be Ghanaian.
Yeah, I heard
right?
your report. I've forgotten the name of the mountain again.
Achia.
Achia.
That's a lovely place, by the way.
We should visit there for
Yes,
answers to
yes.
prayers.
Indeed. Maybe that's the only way. But the question is this: what does it mean to be a Ghanaian? Who is the Ghanaian? For many other cultures and nationalities, as soon as you hear the name of the country, something comes to your mind, right? You hear Japan and you think, honor,
Yeah.
business. You hear Germany, you think precision. You hear France, you think romance, passion. You hear Britain, you think establishment, fair play, You hear, I don't know, Italy, you think fashion.
Yeah.
You hear Brazil, you think football.
Football.
When you hear Ghana, what do you think?
Hospitality.
Hospitality, right? That we are a hospitable people. I knew that would be the first thing that comes to your mind. It's the same for most people. Let me break your heart.
Oh man.
We are not a hospitable people. We are not. We give poor service. Very poor service. We have a big smile on our face when we see you, but it's all fake. We don't actually like you.
So where did we get that impression from?
I
Maybe
don't
in
know.
times past we
I wasn't there. I only know of Ghana today. And I know that we are not a hospitable people. We give very poor service. Have you ever
wow.
walked into a shop?
Oh yeah.
Is that hospitality?
The annoying part is when you buy something and you expect your change and the person rather expects you to go look for the change. They don't really care.
Have you ever been to a restaurant and ordered something that they don't have? And then they bring you something else instead?
Something else. And it's like
With no explanation, nothing.
They're rather doing you a favor.
So is that hospitality? And who are we exporting that hospitality to? When foreigners come here and we charge them twice the amount that we'll charge everybody else, is that hospitality? So are we sure that hospitality is what people should, know us for?
Okay, let's try again. Peace-loving people.
Peace-loving people. So are Germans not peace-loving people?
Well,
Togolese not peace-loving people?
I think it's based on the fact that we've had a stable democracy for some time now.
Have we had a stable democracy longer than the United States?
Not exactly, but for some time now. I mean, in the context of Africa, when people hear about Ghana, they hear peace, stability. Yeah.
So that's what we are known for. So when a Ghanaian is walking down the streets and someone, that guy is from Ghana, and everybody thinks,
he's a peaceful person.
What a peaceful guy he must be. That's it.
He's a peaceful person.
Who is a warmonger anyway? who in the crowd that he must be walking through is a warmonger compared to him? Anyway,
yeah.
Today we'll try and answer this mysterious question.
To reflect on who we are as Ghanaians.
Who were we originally supposed to be, right? When this country was forged, what was the dream? What was the vision? Who was a Ghanaian supposed to be on the day of independence? When Nkrumah was waving his handkerchief and ushering us into a new dawn, what kind of people was he hoping we would be? Are we that kind of people today? It's worth asking, isn't it?
The Black Star of Africa. Yeah.
Well, as long as we don't become the black stain of Africa. All right, the 6 a.m. news was brought to us by Total Energies. Total, we go the extra mile for you. Absa Bank Ghana Limited, helping you find a way to get things done. And Millennium Insurance, your trustworthy partner. And, of course, it's time for the Joy Business Report, brought to us by Glyco Life Travel Insurance. Glyco, we cushion you for life. Don't forget to carry your Glycolife travel insurance policy with you when you're traveling. It covers you for medical and emergency assistance, including COVID care, personal 24-hour assistance, replacement for lost baggage, passport, driving license, ID cards, and or any other consular documents, and of course cover for personal accident, personal liability, compensation for trip cancellation or curtailment, and losses and delays that last over 4 hours. Call Glycolife on 0302 218 500 or WhatsApp them on 020 2222 113 for a travel insurance policy that best suits your needs. Glyco, we cushion you for life.
Hi, good morning. Welcome to the Joy Business Report. My name is Daryl. Kwawu. Welcome to a new month. Coming up, some oil marketing companies announced reduction in prices of petroleum products, with Kwawu selling a liter of petrol and diesel at 13 cedis 80 pesos. Also, a group of bilateral chambers of commerce challenges government to address current economic challenges and outright harassment of members by GRA officials. Plus, Cocoa Board expresses worry over high cost of cocoa farming due to galamsey in some areas of the country. Details coming up. My name is Daryl Kwawu. Thanks for being with us this morning. Some oil marketing companies have begun reducing prices of petroleum products at the pumps. Market leader Kwawu selling a liter of petrol at 13 cedis 80 pesos, represents an almost 5% reduction. Diesel, on the other hand, also going for 13 cedis 80 pesos a liter, indicating a more than 1 cedi per liter drop. Now, other OMCs are expected to adjust pricing in the coming hours. The reduction follows earlier projection by the National Petroleum Authority about some decrease in fuel prices as a result of the Good for Oil program. We'll keep monitoring that for you. Now, Ghana could return to the international capital market earlier than projected. This follows recent actions by Standard & Poor's and comments by the IMF Managing Director, Kristalina Georgieva, on the Ghanaian economy. Here's more in this report.
Standard & Poor's, in its recent report on Ghana, revised its selective default tag on local bonds issued by government from selective default to CCC+. This is due to what Standard & Poor's describes as completion of the domestic debt exchange program by government and with its successful issuance of new bonds and securities. This has moved Ghana up one level, still within the junk status. The agency has also indicated that it will continue to take further actions if another measures are instituted to help stabilize the economy. For some, if this is anything to go by, then Ghana could be assured its chances of getting back to the international market are bright now. The International Monetary Fund Managing Director, Kristalina Georgieva, recent engagement also disclosed that she expects Ghana to quickly get back to the international market if it's able to quickly finalize a deal with all bondholders when it comes to the domestic debt exchange program.
And that was a Business Desk report. A group of bilateral chambers of commerce is challenging government to address the current economic challenges and harassment of officials of the GRA. Now, they believe the current economic challenges will erode the gains the country has made as a leading and favorable destination for business and investment in Africa. The group made up of the American Chamber of Commerce Ghana, the UK Ghana Chamber of Commerce, Canada Ghana Chamber of Commerce, CCI France Ghana, and the European Chamber of Commerce in Ghana. They argued that their member companies expect greater consultative opportunities in the development and rollout of tax reforms by government. They, however, endorsed the government's request from the International Monetary Fund to turn the ailing economy around. Now, Ghana Cocoa Board is crying foul over activities of galamsey operators in some cocoa growing areas of the country, which are making farming expensive. According to Chief Executive of Cocoa Board, Joseph Boyne Edu, the menace is adversely affecting water resources used for irrigation and destroying the environment. He was speaking to Joy Business after inaugurating a committee to promote the consumption of cocoa locally.
Galamsey is a notorious problem that we will have to deal with. Now, farmers have to carry water to their farms to do spraying, which is not the best. It makes farming become very expensive. Apart from that, we want to do irrigation, but the water bodies have been polluted, contaminated, making it difficult for us to use the surface runoff water to do irrigation. But you cannot do irrigation when you have surface runoff. And I've said it elsewhere that we have to be very careful in this country because the Galamsey, the use of the chamfan, and then the discharge of silt is causing sedimentation in the river basins. All the river basins are getting filled with silt and sand. If this thing continues unabated, let's give ourselves the next 15, 20 years. There'll be no river in Ghana.
Joseph Edu, the CEO of the Ghana Cocoa Board. Former CEO of Stanbic Bank Ghana, Dr. Alhassan Andani, is urging real estate developers to manage their capital to enable them survive these turbulent economic times. According to him, it would not be profitable for developers to borrow money to invest in their projects, considering the current economic crisis and the incessant increase in prices of materials. He spoke at the annual CEO's breakfast meeting of the Ghana Real Estate Developers.
I think the current economic environment, characterized by very high interest rates, characterized by a high exchange rate, a lot of governmental pressure because this economy is driven largely by government activity. I think anybody in the real estate sector must be taking some time to refocus their business, preserve their capital, ensure that they can let go of certain high market margins and recover whatever capital sits in their current assets. Look at how to plan for the future because it will be difficult now to borrow or import anything into such turbulence. So I would advise that most of the developers would rather re-engage and look at how they manage their capital.
That was former CEO of Stanbic Bank Ghana, Dr. Alhassan Andani. The African Development Bank Group, in collaboration with the African Guaranteed Fund through the Affirmative Finance Action for Women in Africa, is seeking to close the estimated $42 billion financing gap that affects women entrepreneurs. Ghana is among the 27 African countries to benefit from the first phase of the $5 billion financing for women SMEs by 2026. Speaking at the third edition of the AFAWA Financial Series, Group Chief Executive of African Guarantee Fund, Jules Nkankam, highlighted the criteria for beneficiaries.
The gap that we are trying to bridge is 42 billion, and this thing will be done in phases. It's not something that can be done in 1 year. So we have two sets of criteria. We have the risk criteria that really depend on the banks. And then now we have the criteria as women SME. So who are the owners of that business? If it's a single owner, if that is a woman, it will qualify. If you have 51% of the owners are women, it also qualify. And then we have criteria at the level of the management. So who are the one managing that business? If not, now we go to the level of the staff. We take into account the number of employees of that SMEs. If they reach also a certain percentage, they also qualify as a women business.
Group Chief Executive of African Guarantee Fund, Jules Nkankam. Now, the changing trends in the economy and geopolitics are likely to have a significant effect on customer satisfaction, and therefore there is a need for businesses to readjust in order to stay ahead of the market. This is a session of the Executive Director for Enterprise Bureau, Ethel Ann Komlaga. Speaking to Joy Business after the EB Connect 2023 series on market dynamics for competitive positioning, she admonished businesses to take advantage of the trends in order to excel.
We are looking at the marketplace dynamics for startups so they can position themselves competitively. Change is happening everywhere, and marketplace dynamics can affect your competition, your price, your pricing, your customer values, and all of these things. So we have decided to bring an experienced person in the marketing industry to give us more insights so that all of us as startups, especially those working with data, even for Enterprise Bureau, how startups can use data to understand their businesses and also to give value.
Ethel Ann Komlaga, Executive Director of Enterprise Bureau. You're listening to the Joy Business Report. Telecoms giant MTN Ghana ended last year recording some significant growth in profit. it recorded 4 billion cedis, representing more than 40% jump over what it recorded in 2021. The telecoms company ended up paying over 3 billion Ghana cedis to the state in taxes, whilst allotting 29 million cedis to cover what it describes as socio-economic activities. Despite the impressive results, MTN's statement showed that revenue from its mobile money business was impacted marginally due to the electronic transaction levy. Now, the food delivery industry is growing in Ghana, but most of the giant delivery companies are foreign-owned. Today on the Joy Business Van, we meet up with entrepreneur Alex Daryl, who wants to change the narrative with his startup, Menu Finder Africa.
Hello, Joy Business Fan. I'm Alex Daryl. I'm the CEO of Menu Finder Africa. Welcome to our office. It was Mother's Day, I think 2017. And I asked the wifey, where does she want to go get something to eat? She mentioned a restaurant just down the road, Citrus. And I said, okay, see what kind of food they have. She went online, couldn't see anything. So then I said, okay, it's down the road. Went there, they were closed. So I mentioned Vida. She couldn't find anything online. I mentioned Coco Lounge at that time, and they had a partial menu. And then she was just like, oh, for goodness sake, somebody should. And I was thinking, well, we are somebody. If we're having this issue, probably someone else is.
And that was how Menu Finder Africa started. Now Alex is taking it a notch higher, operating an app that enables you order meals from a curated list of restaurants and food vendors delivered right at your doorstep. It's Ghanaian-owned, Ghanaian-operated food delivery service. Alrighty, a full episode at 1 p.m. right after the Joy Business Report, 5 p.m. on Business Live on the Joy News channel. Don't miss it. Before we go, a look at the markets for you. The currency market to begin with, the cedi going for 13 cedis, 5 pesos to the dollar on the Forex or retail market. The pound going for 15 cedis, 45 pesos. The euro selling at 13 cedis, 60 pesos. And this morning, crude oil has gone up marginally to open trading at almost $84 a barrel. Gold went up by more than $4, selling this morning at $1,831 an ounce. Cocoa selling at $2,789 a ton after going up by $33. More news on our website, myjoyonline.com/business. My name is Daryl. Kwawu. Thanks for doing the listening, and it's back